Before we start, I would like to introduce a very special guest of honor. As you can see, there are many people around him as we speak at this moment. It is Woodhouse. He is a living legend, a Tuskegee Airman, and he served with many Chinese Americans. I don't know how he does it, but he runs around like a 19-year-old. I can't even get down the street. Well, good morning, everyone, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you all to the New England Regional Chinese American World War II Congressional Gold Medal Ceremony. I am Commissioner Robert Santiago for Veteran Services here in the great city of Boston. First, I have to say what an amazing honor it is for me to not only be here today, but to be the Master of Ceremonies. I want to thank Major General Bill Chen and the Chinese American Citizens Alliance Boston Lodge for this great honor and even more this great responsibility. When General Chen presented me with a copy of his book, Unsung Heroes, I wanted to learn more about these great Chinese Americans. Unfortunately, there really isn't a lot written about the contributions of Chinese Americans during World War II, or even about the repeal of the Chinese Exclusion Act. But along with General Chen's book, I found another book, and it's written by K. Scott Wong. Scott's book is titled America First, Chinese Americans and the Second World War. He states in his book that Chinese Americans contributed to all aspects of the war effort and suffered and benefited as much as anyone from the deprivations and changes wrought by the war. One slogan on a recruiting poster that he mentioned was for the Women's Army Corps, who could easily apply to Chinese Americans as well. That slogan is, "I'm in this war too." This ceremony and those held around the country solidifies that fact, and it brings it home. So today and every day, we will honor these veterans and their families with much love and respect. If you are able to, please stand for the posting of colors by the USS Constitution Color Guard, and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by Jennifer Chen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Jennifer. That was beautiful. Now, I would like to call up American Legion Chinatown Post 328 past commander and Marine veteran Matthew Sato, who is also the great-grandson of Sui M. Lo U.S. Army. And I would also like to call up Jennifer Ng, United States Air Force, major in the United, oh, wait a minute. Wait, that's a typo. It's Lieutenant Colonel Ng, who was recently promoted to Lieutenant Colonel. Congratulations. They will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for Pastor Emeritus Stephen Chen from the Boston Chinatown Evangelical Church, who will give the invocation.
Let us pray together. Our gracious Heavenly Father, Almighty God, Creator of heaven and earth, Sovereign Lord of this universe, as we begin the ceremony in this historic hall, reminded that this is called a cradle of liberty, and that you allowed this nation to be born and allowed us to enjoy the freedoms that we have today. And we're thankful that when our freedom was threatened, that you raised up men and women who served you and fought for that freedom in World War II. We're thankful that we can remember and honor those people who had served this country. We ask that you would bless this ceremony, pray that it will bring glory and honor to your name, and give you the thanks for the victory that we had in World War II. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Be seated.
Thank you, Pastor Chen. Our first speaker today is retired Massachusetts National Guard Colonel, and she currently serves as the Secretary of Veteran Services for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Secretary Cheryl Poppy.
Thank you, Commissioner. I am so pleased and moved by the numbers of people who have come here today. I am so honored to be here to join Governor Baker, our United States Congressional Representatives, Mark Takano and Stephen Lynch, Mayor Janey, Commissioner Santiago, Councilor Flynn, President Chen, President Go, and of course, the work behind the ceremony, Major General Chen. And I want to thank all of the veterans who are here today, with us today, and all of the family members, the next of kin and survivors that have come to join. What a tremendous show of support that you have here for your service members. And I want to thank you, Major General Chen, for your distinguished service to our country and for leading the effort in making sure that all Chinese American veterans who served in World War II are properly recognized and honored. Major General Chen, as Commissioner Santiago also introduced, he has performed another important duty for the country, and that is capturing the important stories of Chinese American veterans who served in World War II. The book, Unsung Heroes, recognizing and honoring Chinese American World War II Veterans, where General Chen served as its editor-in-chief, it details the significant effort of the Chinese American veterans living in America, who made so many contributions to the United States military effort during this period. I am fortunate to have a copy of the book, and while I have not read all of it, I, of course, was drawn to the story of a woman veteran who had served, and how I was particularly impressed that because of her skills and talents, she sewed her own uniform blouse when she entered the military. And like this book, today's ceremony, one of many others that are happening this year across the nation, it helps to ensure that the contributions of Chinese American veterans will never be forgotten. Chinese Americans served in every theater of World War II and in every branch of the service. So whether you were part of the military operations to storm the beaches on D-Day, or operations which led to the surrender of the Japanese at Tokyo Bay, or in any other theater of war across the world during World War II, your service and contribution helped make our nation stronger. We thank you for your tremendous contribution to making this a great nation. And as Secretary of the Department of Veteran Services, I am very proud and honored to stand with you at this special Congressional Gold Medal Award ceremony. And I now have the pleasure of introducing today's keynote speaker, who I can tell you is a fierce advocate and supporter of our veterans in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Governor Charlie Baker.
So good morning, and thanks for being with us today. I do want to add one more public figure to the list that's been recognized, and that would be former Boston Mayor and Ambassador to the Vatican, Flynn. Ray was one of those people who, throughout the course of his public life and his public career, embodied what I think of as one of the great moments in one of the great speeches of former President Ronald Reagan, when he talked about the fact that anybody can be an American. Unlike the way it works in many other countries, all you have to do is come here and you can become an American. And you can share in all the hope and possibility and opportunity that comes with that. Now, anybody who's paid any attention to American history knows we struggle sometimes to live up to our aspirational objectives and beliefs. And sometimes we make a mess of things. And I would argue that at this point in time, it's about as messy as it's been, certainly in the course of my lifetime. But one of the things I really admire about the imperfect nation of which I've been blessed to be part of over the course of my 64 years is that even though we struggle, and even though we make mistakes, and even though we fall down, and even we get things wrong, we do try, ultimately, to get them right. And today's ceremony, where we're going to have an opportunity to honor and recognize Chinese Americans who fought and then lived lives, if they made it home, of distinguished achievement here in the U.S. is one of those moments. Now, I don't know how many of you, do any of you know who won the first, or who was rewarded, who was awarded the first Congressional Gold Medal? I don't want any of the folks who organized the event. The first Congressional Gold Medal was awarded to George Washington. That's the lineage that's associated with this particular honor. It is, in many respects, right along with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest honor that this nation can bestow on an individual or a group. And that guy right over there, General Chen, happens to be one of those individuals who's received this honor over the course of his life. And it was well earned. But today we have a very special chance and an opportunity to recognize and honor so many more who are part of this project that we're here today to celebrate. Let me close with this. I get to play in this great game called democracy, where I run for office and I try to make the case for why I'd be good at this job, whatever race it is and whatever office it is. And sometimes I've succeeded and sometimes I haven't. But I've had the freedom to run, and the people in the communities that I live in have had a chance to decide whether I'm up for the task or not. We have that opportunity for one reason and one reason only. Because so many people paid the price with their sacrifice to keep us free. And that's a check, honestly, that I don't think we can ever repay. But as one of those people who has had an opportunity to serve and considers it to be the greatest gift of my life, on behalf of those of us who do serve, I want to say thank you to all of the families of all the recipients of these Congressional Gold Medals today. Because without you and without your families and so many more like you, who knows where this aspirational nation would be, and who knows what sort of freedom or democracy we would have. World War II was one of those moments when all the chips were on the table, every single one. And thankfully, as far as I'm concerned, the right people succeeded. But that was not a sure thing. It was imminently in doubt. Woody would vouch for me on that one, right? His life story is really something, folks. It speaks in many respects to the brokenness and to the greatness of America and the life he's lived as a person of color and a black man growing up in the 1940s. But this nation, as flawed as it might be, is still a place where you can be an American without being born here. Makes it very different than most other places, and despite the mess and the controversy and the difficulties that come with this nation of freedom, and there are many, we owe an enormous debt to so many folks like these who stepped up and preserved the essence of what it means to be part of this great nation. So on behalf, again, of me as an elected official, I want to say how much I appreciate your presence, how much we appreciate the work that was done to make this possible. And don't forget, every one of these we give out today, first one, George Washington, one of the true founders of this very imperfect but aspirational nation that we all have the opportunity to be part of. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. Governor, do you know where that first Congressional Gold Medal lies that George Washington was given?
I have no idea.
Here in Boston, Massachusetts. We have that gold medal in the city. It's actually located at the Boston Public Library. We were trying to actually get it and surprise the general with it, but unfortunately it's locked up and secure in a location while they were redoing the library. And also another fact with George Washington, he named our 6 original frigates that one of them being the USS Constitution, which is also here in Boston, and you saw their color guard here today. Our next speaker made history herself. She was sworn in as the first woman and first black mayor in this city's history. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mayor of Boston, Kim Janey.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for that, Governor. I want to thank you, Commissioner Santiago, for the introduction, and I want to thank you for all of the amazing work that you do on behalf of the City of Boston and your leadership in the Office of Veteran Services. I want to thank Pastor Chen for that touching invocation, and I want to recognize some of the public officials today, certainly our Governor, Governor Charlie Baker. Thank you so much. I want to thank Congressman Stephen Lynch, our very own Congressman, and Congressman Mark Takano. I want to recognize Boston City Councilor Ed Flynn, Secretary Poppy, Major General Chen, and I too want to recognize Ambassador Flynn. Thank you so much for your service. And another treasure, Woody Woodhouse. It is so good to see you, sir. Thank you so much. We are here today to celebrate the military achievements and contributions of Chinese Americans during World War II. As the governor has already alluded to, our country has a deep and complicated history. And that history includes legislation such as the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, an anti-immigration piece of legislation that explicitly excluded a specific racial or ethnic group from our country. This act was renewed with more severe restrictions with the Gary Act in 1892, and the exclusion of Chinese immigrants from the United States stood until 1943, when the United States and China formed an alliance in World War II. Even before this repeal of this legislation, Chinese Americans were standing up for America and the liberation of Nazi-occupied Europe. Over 20,000 Chinese Americans served across all 6 branches of the U.S. Armed Forces, and that was 20% of the total Chinese American population at that time. For decades in our country, people of color have had to overcome barriers to being recognized as first-class citizens, despite proven and ongoing dedication to our nation's core principles. But it is in that spirit of freedom and democracy and overcoming barriers and challenges that I am so excited to be here with each of you to celebrate the contributions of Chinese American World War II veterans and their next of kin. I want to remind everyone here that freedom isn't free. And the only reason that we are able to be here today is because of the sacrifices that so many in our country have made to serve our great nation. And today we honor so many of the greatest generation who served in World War II, specifically Chinese Americans. I'm just so grateful for your contributions and your dedication to our country, to the ideals of democracy, and all that that means. So thank you so much. We owe you a debt of gratitude. Thank you, and God bless America.
At this time, I would like to call up Lieutenant Colonel Jennifer Chen. Both of them.
Yeah.
As ordered and signed by the Mayor of Boston, Mayor Kim Janey, Lieutenant Colonel Chen, and your brother Christopher Chen are officers of the day, proclaimed officers of the day. At this time, Margaret Lee and Esther Lee, please come up. Mayor, I have two more. The City of Boston Proclamation, whereas the Congressional Gold Medal is an award bestowed by Congress and is the highest civilian award in the United States. Whereas in 2017, Congress introduced legislation to recognize the brave Chinese Americans who served their country during World War II. And whereas since arriving in the United States, Chinese Americans have served in the military, helping to protect and defend the United States of America. Whereas their commitment and sacrifice demonstrated a highly uncommon and commendable sense of patriotism and honor in the face of discrimination. They helped to open up opportunities for all Chinese Americans to be a part of mainstream America post-World War II. Now, therefore, Mayor of the City of Boston, Kim Janey, do hereby proclaim Saturday, October 16, 2021, to be World War II Chinese American Veterans Day in the City of Boston. She urges all residents in the City of Boston to join her in celebrating their service and sacrifice. Signed, Kim Janey, Mayor of Boston. We have one more recognition. Major General. The City of Boston Certificate of Recognition presented to Major General Retired William S. Chen, United States Army, in recognition of your hard work and contributions to Chinese American World War II veterans. Thank you for your tireless efforts in writing the book, Unsung Heroes, recognizing and honoring Chinese American World War II veterans, and your dedication to the planning of the New England Congressional Gold Medal Award Ceremony. On behalf of the City of Boston, thank you for your continued dedication to the Chinese American veterans community and your service to your country. Signed, Mayor of Boston, Kim Janey. Next up, I would like you to all please welcome a Navy veteran and a veteran of enduring freedom. He is also the chair of the Veteran and Military Affairs Committee on the Boston City Council. City Councilor Ed Flynn.
Thank you, Commissioner Santiago, and distinguished guests and guests here as well, the World War II veterans. On behalf of the City of Boston, as the Mayor mentioned, welcome. I had the opportunity to serve on active duty for a period of time, had the opportunity to serve with so many from the AAPI community and other immigrants as well. And I know their heroic service and sacrifice to our nation. As the Mayor mentioned, the Chinese Exclusion Act, if we go down that path in terms of the discrimination, we also saw the Chinese built the Transcontinental Railroad with the Irish. In that famous photo in Salt Lake City, there wasn't one Asian person in the photo during the ribbon cutting ceremony. The sacrifice and the service of World War II, Chinese and Chinese American veterans is exceptional. You served with distinction, with honor, as did your families, and you came back to America, and our country didn't treat you fairly, didn't treat you well. We discriminated against you and your families, and that continues, unfortunately, with the hate crimes that we see across the country against the AAPI community. I'm so honored and proud to represent the largest Asian community in Boston. I know your service, I know your sacrifice, the contributions you make to our nation. You make this country a better country, and our country is stronger because of you. So I just want to let you know that we're so proud of the World War II veterans. We're proud of the Chinese and Chinese American veterans, the Chinatown American Legion Post that does exceptional work representing veterans and military families across the city. Thank you very much.
General Chen. General Chen, please. Hey, please. You want to read it or you want me? I'll do it. City of Boston and City Council official resolution offered by City Councilor Ed Flynn. In recognition of your bravery, sacrifice, and service to our country as veterans of World War II, your heroic efforts in the war have helped ensure the peace and stability for future generations. And be it resolved that the Boston City Council hereby expresses its best wishes for your future endeavors, and that this resolution be duly signed by the President of the City Council and attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the City of Boston. Offered by Edward Flynn. Thank you, Councilor Flynn. Our next speaker represents Massachusetts' 8th Congressional District. Ladies and gentlemen, Congressman Stephen Lynch.
Thank you, Commissioner, Governor, Madam Mayor, my colleagues in government. Wonderful to be with you this morning. I'm very proud to be here for a number of reasons. First of all, as a young state senator, I had the opportunity to represent the community of Chinatown here in the city of Boston. But also, currently, as a member of Congress, I represent the city of Quincy, where many of my former constituents in Chinatown have moved down to Quincy, so I still represent them as well. And most importantly, one of the reasons I'm so proud to be here today is that I had the good judgment to appoint Lieutenant Colonel Jennifer Ng to the Air Force Academy of the United States. Lieutenant Colonel, I am so proud. I have to tell you, during the application process and the recruitment process for the Air Force Academy, we had these big guys coming in, middle linebacker types, and then we had Jennifer Ng. She's about my size, rather short. And we watched her progress. So every time I appoint someone to the academies, we sort of track and see how they do. And I am so proud to say that of the thousands who were appointed to the Air Force Academy, Jennifer Ng, Lieutenant Colonel Jennifer Ng, finished second in her class among all those people and made us so enormously proud. You have every reason to be proud of her service, as I am. I'll be very brief. I know we have a lot of speakers. I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to all of the Chinese Americans who served in World War II during a time when, and think about this, the Chinese Americans who served during World War II and wore the uniform of this country, about 20% of all Chinese American adults at that time volunteered to serve. That's a huge percentage of the population. And Chinese Americans stepped forward. Of that 20%, almost 20% that volunteered to serve, almost half of them, 40%, were non-citizens. So they put on the uniform of the United States, went into battle to defend the ideals of this country at a time when this country and our government was not living up to those same ideals. That is a profound gift that Chinese Americans have given to this country. And I'm very proud to be here to at last join the governor and the mayor and Councilor Ed Flynn and Major General Chen for your wonderful contribution. And my dear friend, Chairman of the Veteran Affairs Committee, Mark Takano from California, who every day as Chairman of the Veterans Affairs Committee in the Congress fights for all veterans to make sure that they receive the benefits and the honor and the dignity that they deserve. This is a wonderful day, a day long in coming, but As Churchill once said of the Americans, he said, you know, the Americans will always do the right thing after they've tried every other alternative. So today we're trying to right our wrongs. We are trying to make good the promise of America and raise up and honor those who, again, chose to serve and defend Americans' ideals when we were, at a time, not living up to those same ideals. So thank you so much for being here. Congratulations to all those who will receive the Congressional Medal today, and to their families, because we all know when one member of a family serves, that entire family serves. So thank you for your attendance here today. Thank you for your service to our country, and may God continue to bless these United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Lynch. Next, actually, you already introduced him. We are honored to have with us U.S. Congressman Mark Takano. Congressman Takano represents California's 41st Congressional District, and as Congressman Lynch said, he is the chair of the House Veterans Affairs Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, please, Congressman Takano.
Well, thank you, Commissioner, Governor, Councilman, Madam Secretary, Madam Mayor, Mr. Ambassador, and everyone, all the veterans here today. Before I begin, let me just say just what an amazing honor it is to be here with my colleague, Steve Lynch. My job is to fight for all veterans, and Steve's there fighting right with me. I've introduced and moving through the Congress a very important toxic exposure bill, a comprehensive one that will address burn pits, and Steve has a major element of that bill, which is the provision on our K2 veterans that were exposed to radiation. I think it was Kazakhstan where these veterans were, and so we're attempting to leave no one out, and certainly your congressman is someone that, from the bottom of his heart and always from his perch on the Oversight Committee, is making sure that we leave no veteran behind. So I want to thank the Boston chapter of the Chinese American Citizens Alliance for inviting me here to participate in today's in-person celebration of Chinese American World War II veterans. It is because of their bravery and patriotism that we are all here today in Boston, a city rich in its own history of patriotism, to honor these veterans who served valiantly when their country needed them. Their bravery paved the way for a diverse and inclusive military, one that includes Major General William Chen, the first Chinese-American two-star general in the history of the United States Army. I'm so relieved I didn't flub up that applause line. Major General Chen is with us today to receive the Congressional Gold Medal on behalf of the generations of Chinese American veterans who came before him and the generations of Chinese American service members and veterans that will follow in his footsteps. Our country certainly wasn't perfect during World War II, and it might not even be perfect now. But it is full of promise, and regardless of their backgrounds or origins, our veterans knew that it was worth fighting for. And it is my honor to present Major General Chen with the Congressional Gold Medal and to thank him for his career of dedicated public service to our nation. We'll be presenting actually the actual medal later, so thanks.
Thank you, Congressman Takano. Well, that was a good introduction to the next speaker. Now it is a true honor to introduce retired Major General Bill Chen, who for the last 4.5 years has been active in the advocacy in getting a bill passage for the award of the Congressional Gold Medal for Chinese American World War II veterans. And he has been a big integral part of the Chinese American World War II Veterans Recognition Project in the registration of veterans for the award and in also the design of the gold medal itself. Ladies and gentlemen, General Bill Chen.
Thank you all. All the previous speakers have spoken about our Chinese American World War II veterans. I have a speech that I prepared, but I'm going to dispense with that in the interest of time, but rather just say a few words. The words I'm going to talk about start with the letter C. The primary theme here is confluence. The other letter is A, America. And so we have a confluence of history here with the city of Boston. City starts with the C. And here in Faneuil Hall, what is this? It's the cradle of liberty. And of course, we're linking together the Congressional Gold Medal, where George Washington was the very first recipient of our Congressional Gold Medal. The other C is Chinese Americans. And so the A that I'm going to talk about, of course, is America, which stands for also the spirit of America that was embodied by our Chinese American veterans. The A in America also relates to mainstream America and the American dream. So what is it that the Chinese American veterans of World War II did? They made known to the American people the skills, competency, loyalty, and patriotism of our Chinese Americans. Post-World War II, they opened up opportunities for all Chinese Americans to be a part of mainstream America. And through their hard work and sacrifice, they enabled us in the follow-on generations to live the American dream. And so I salute the Chinese American World War II veterans. I'd like to now transition to our Bronze Star Medal presentation ceremony. The Bronze Star Medal is the 4th highest combat award given to our soldiers. During World War II, frequently, members of minority groups were not properly recognized in combat actions. As part of the review of military records, in determining the eligibility of our veterans to receive the Congressional Gold Medal, we also reviewed situations for possible award and recognition of the Bronze Star Medal. The Army now has approved 2 veterans from Massachusetts for award of the Bronze Star Medal. The first is to Thomas S.F. Chen, and accepting is Betty Chen, daughter. Betty, please come forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the Bronze Medal. Attention to orders. The United States of America, to all who shall see these presents, greeting. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America, authorized by Executive Order 24 August 1962, has awarded the Bronze Star Medal to Private First Class Thomas S.F. Chen, Company L, 3rd Battalion, 242nd Infantry Regiment, for meritorious achievement in active ground combat against the enemy, effective 10 January 1945, while serving with the 42nd Infantry Division in occupied Europe. Private First Class Chen's exemplary performance of duty in active ground combat was in keeping with the finest traditions of military service and reflects great credit upon himself, his unit, and the Army of the United States. Given under my hand in the city of Washington, this 23rd day of July, 2020. Signed, Brigadier General Hope C. Rampey, the Adjutant General of the U.S. Army, and Ryan D. McCarthy, Acting Secretary of the Army. Will Melvin G. please come forward? Attention to orders. The United States of America, to all shall see these presents, greeting. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America, authorized by Executive Order 24 August 1962, has awarded the Bronze Star Medal to Private G.W. Horn, Company A, 1st Battalion, 19th Infantry Regiment, for meritorious achievement in active ground combat against the enemy on April 1st, 1944, while serving with the 24th Infantry Division in the Philippine Islands. Private Horn's exceptional performance of duty in active ground combat was in keeping with the finest traditions of military service and reflects great credit upon himself, his unit, and the Army of the United States. Given under my hand in the city of Washington, the 16th day of November, 2020, signed, Brigadier General Hope C. Rampey, the Adjutant General of the U.S. Army, and Ryan D. McCarthy, Acting Secretary of the Army. Everyone, please be seated. At this time, I'd like to introduce Melanie Chen, National President of the Chinese American Citizens Alliance.
Thank you. As National President of the Chinese American Citizens Alliance, I am honored to be here to participate in this very memorable and historic occasion. I would like to particularly thank Secretary Poppe, Massachusetts Department of Veterans Services, and Commissioner Rob Santiago, Veterans Services, City of Boston for co-hosting this event together with our CACA Boston Lodge. And thank you, Governor Baker, for being our keynote speaker and official congratulating our veterans, and Nixa Kin in receiving their Congressional Gold Medals. I would also like to thank Ambassador Ray Flynn, Representative Mark Takano, and Stephen Lynch for your support of the Chinese American World War II veteran, Congressional Gold Medal Act, and your participation in this ceremony. And Mayor Janey, thank you for your remarks and the proclamation from the City of Boston. Since July of this year, we have been holding regional award ceremonies across the country. And at the end of September, we had veterans and Nixa Kin who gathered in Arlington, Virginia for a National Congressional Gold Medal Award ceremony. With these ceremonies, like today, we are finally able to recognize and honor our World War II veterans. Thank you for all your support. Thank you.
We will now begin the awards of the Congressional Gold Medal. First to the living veterans, then to the next of kin of deceased veterans. For all the next of kin, please remove the 3x5 card from your packet. If you do not find a 3x5 card, please use your ID card on your lanyards. Again, the first will be to our living World War II Chinese veterans. William Lum, Marines. Edward Mon Yi Ji, Army. Tony T. D. Moy, Navy. George Yi Chan, Navy, accepting his daughter, Corinne M. Chan. Howard Chan, Jr., accepting his son, Robert Chan. Vic G. Lee, Army, accepting is Bing Lee, his son. Henry Soho, Army Air Forces, accepting his spouse, Jean Soho. Wat K. Wu, Army, accepting his son, Winchell Wu. David Y. N. Wang, Army, accepting his daughter, Angelina Jean Wang Magondal. Robert Earl Chan, Army, accepting Alexandria Chan, daughter. John Chu, aka Bet Chu Young, Army, accepting Anna Johnston, daughter. Philip E. Chu, Navy, accepting Allison Wong, daughter. Buck Wat Chin, Navy, accepting Ken S. Chin, nephew. Du Lum Chin, aka Don Lum Wong, Army, accepting Robert Wong, son. Du Tang Chin, Army, accepting Peter Chin, son. John Ni Toon Chin, Navy, accepting Robert Chin, son. Kay Wong Chin, Army Air Forces, accepting Carol Chin Foreman, daughter. Lun Chin, Army, accepting grandson, Felix Lim. Lok John Kwan, Army, accepting grandson, Christopher Wei. Ning Di Chin, Army, accepting Jean Chin, son. Richard Dick Goon Chin, Army Air Forces, accepting grandson, Gary R. Chin.
Vic Fort Chin, Army, accepting Penny Yi. Thomas Shi Fun Chin, Army, Betty Chin. Tong Goon Chin, Army, accepting Joseph L. Chin. Wang Y. Philip Chin, Army Air Forces, accepting Stephen J. Chin. Wang Chow, Army Air Forces, accepting Lester Chow. Yat Phao Der, Army, Kay Peterson, accepting daughter. Theodore J. Don, Army Air Forces, accepting son Robert Don. Fok C. Eng, Army, accepting son John D. Eng. Jimmy Lim Eng, accepting son Daniel C. Eng, Army. Kim Pong Fong, Army. Son, accepting Conrad Fong. Kim Lung Fong, Army. Daughter, Nancy Chin, accepting. Xie N. Fong, Army. Accepting grandson, Darrell H. Wong. Shu D. Fong, Army, accepting son James M. Fong. Gan Kwang Ji, Army Air Forces, accepting son Dan G. Hua Yik Ji, Army, accepting son Jones G. Walter A. Gong, Navy, accepting son Brian Gong. Heng Wei Hom, Army, accepting granddaughter Melissa Chin. Sui Ji Hom, Army Air Forces, accepting son Gim Pi Hon. Robert C. Hong, Army Air Forces, accepting son Walter Hong. Wei Horn Ji, Army, accepting son Melvin G. Jin Ju, Army, accepting daughter Carol Chen. Buck W. Lee, Army, accepting nephew Silk Gong Lee. Kwok Wing Lee, Army, accepting son Tom W.C. Lee. Lynn Lee, Army, accepting son Timothy Lee. Young S. Wong, Army, accepting nephew Timothy Lee. Peng Nam Lee, Army, accepting grandson William Chen. Also, Sue Lee, Army, accepting grandson William Chen. Poi G. Lee, Army, accepting son Herman Lee. Dick M. Richard Lee, Army, accepting son Paul W. Lee. Wing Lee, Army, accepting sister Hewitt Hom.
Names on the board, right? No, there's no names.
No.
There's no names.
Yu Ting Henry Lee, Armed Forces, accepting son Ming Lee. Quan Nam Leong, Army, accepting grandson George Liang. William B. S. Leong, Army, accepting spouse Siri Leong. Henry Sun Lim, Army, accepting grandson John Louis. Frank Wong, Army, accepting daughter is Robin Long. Fong Lum, Army, accepting Claire Wong, daughter. Lou N. Gore, Army, accepting his grandniece Audra Bonney.
Roland Lung, Navy, accepting son Darren Lung. Harry W. Moon Kai, Army Air Force, accepting grandson Jong Moon Kai. Ben Phi Moy, Army, accepting daughter Martha Wright. Harry Moy, Army, accepting daughter Celestia Moy St. Hilaria. Tong Moy, Army, accepting daughter Nancy Moy Sito. Nang Moy, Navy, accepting grandson Chris Moy. Stanley Moy, Army, accepting daughter Kimberly Moy Chow. George T.S. Moy, Army Air Force, Kimberly Moy Chow. As a niece. Kim Wing An, Armed Air Forces, accepting daughter Susan Lin. George Fong Pan Ning, Army, accepting son Richard Ning. Kee J. Pan, Army Air Forces, accepting niece Hilda Chow. Wong H. Sim, Army Air Force, accepting daughter Sherry Ann Wong. Samuel E. Sito, Navy, accepting son Harry Sito. Wong Wing Shin, Army Air Forces, accepting nephew Austin Hong. Guan Fan Chin, Navy, accepting cousin David Chin. Henry Q. Fat Suhu, Army, accepting son Robert Suhu. James T. Suhu, Army, accepting son Arthur Suhu. Hua Yip Tang, Army, accepting daughter Marian Lee. Zhang S. Then, Army, accepting granddaughter Cynthia Lau. Ju Yat Thai, Army, accepting grandson Nathan Ju. Ernest Broom Tong, Army, accepting daughter Terry Garristons. Arthur Y. Wong, Army, accepting son Stephen Wong. Bing Yun Wong, Army, accepting son Kenneth Wong. Charles Whitney Wong, Army Air Force, accepting son Charles Stephen Wong. Also is for Thomas Wing Sing, Army Air Force, nephew Charles Stephen Wong. Donald Sam Wong, Army Air Force, accepting daughter Donna Lee Wong. George Afong Wong, Army, accepting son Henry Wong. George Warren Wong, Army, accepting son Dexter Wong. Kim Noy Wong, Navy, accepting daughter Margaret Lee. Mon Ang Wong, Army, accepting daughter Anna M. Wong. Philip Francis Wong, Army, accepting daughter Barbara Tam. Stanley Wong, Army, accepting daughter Darlene Wong Cancel. Alfred King York E, Army, accepting son Gary F. E. Man W. E, Army, accepting daughter Linda E. Kaleko. Ni Heng Yi, Army, accepting daughter Cynthia E. David Gun Yip, Navy, accepting daughter Jessica Yip Chang. Charles L. Yip, Army, accepting niece Janan Wong. Joseph Yu, Army Air Forces, accepting son Christopher Yu. Sun King Yu, Army, accepting son Kerwin Yu. Ernest Young Chen, Army, accepting son John Chang. Gok P. Wong, Army, accepting son Gary Wong. George Lum, Army, accepting son Jonathan Neil Lum. Louis Vincent Koff, Navy, accepting granddaughter Kimberly Koff. Edward K. Wong, Army Air Forces, Dr. Carolyn Wong Blonda. Tai Fong Lau, Army, accepting son Peter Lau. Hong Toi Wong, Army, accepting son James Wong. Wing Fong Wong, Army, accepting son Yok W. Wong.
We do have one more Congressional Gold Medal to give out. I would like to get Congressman Tanako and Congressman Lynch. We have a few more?
Yeah. So we have another row.
We have another row?
Yeah.
Okay. My apologies. It seems like we have another row.
Dorothy Toy Tang, Army Air Forces, accepting son Stephen Tang. Yu Fu Tam, Army, accepting granddaughter Melissa Tam Yu. Accepting son Daniel Luke. Kim Yun Yi, Army Air Forces, accepting son Walter E. Albert Oing, Army, accepting son Danny Oing. Howard E., Army Air Forces, accepting granddaughter Michelle S.E.
What? This one?
Yeah, that's mentioned. Okay.
Guafani Moy, Army,
He's 105.
and the brother is 105 and is still alive. Davis Lee, Army, accepting God's grandson, Wilson Lee. Sui M. Lo, Army, accepting great-grandson, Matthew Cito.
Okay, now we're down to the very last one. If I could now get both congressmen to join General Chen. Our last awardee is retired Major General Bill Chen, whose veteran father is Moon Chen, Army Air Forces. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and show our deepest gratitude and respect to the recipients for the Congressional Gold Medal to Chinese American veterans of World War II. Please be seated. Now, I would like to invite Esther Lee back up to the podium for a special presentation.
Can I have Major General Bill coming back onto the stage, please? We'll have a special presentation. General Bill is the editor-in-chief of our book, Unsung Hero, and we would like to have General present this to our Governor Baker. Can we have the Governor Baker, please? Next, we would like to present it to Congressman Lynch. And I would like to, of course, present it to Congressman Mark Takano.
Hi, my name is Wilson Lee. I'm Esther's husband. Esther and I actually visited the halls of Congress on 7 different occasions between 2017 and 2018, advocating for the Congressional Gold Medal. And most of the time, we actually just had an opportunity to talk to staff. There's a few times where, like Mike Capiano came out and spoke to us, and other senators and congressmen were able to speak to us. But I can tell you, when General Bill was part of our team, the whole dynamic of the conversation changes. So usually we go in, we say, you know, my name is William, CA, blah, 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 and they're like, okay. But when we say, well, it's my honor to introduce to you the first two-star general in the U.S. Army retired, Major General Chen. All of a sudden, the staff is like straight up his tie, sits a little better, and he goes, thank you for your service, General. So there's really no question having Major General Chen, Major General Robert Lee of Hawaii, Major General Dale Wong of Hawaii, and Major General Stephen Tom, the 4 generals that helped our team advocate Congressional Gold Medal that made a difference. As the governor alluded to, the first Congressional Gold Medal was awarded to George Washington, and we asked officially if the mayor can check it out of the library. They couldn't. We called Tom Cruise, hey, can you get the medal for us? We couldn't. So we did the next best thing. We ordered a Congressional Gold Medal replica of the first Congressional Gold Medal from the U.S. Mint. And I would like to invite the Congress member Stephen Lynch, Member Mark Takano, and our honorable members of the Ancient Honorable Artillery Commander and Woody and the Lieutenant come up and jointly present the first ever Congressional Gold Medal to George Washington that was for the liberation of Boston on March 1776. And for a little historical fact, General George Washington actually came back to Faneuil Hall on July 4th, 1777, on the first anniversary of our nation's birthday to celebrate the anniversary here in Faneuil Hall. So and maybe we can have Governor Baker as well as City Councilor Ed Flynn to join with the presentation. The very first Congressional Gold Medal replica. Okay. So General Washington was able to defeat the British by getting the cannons from Fort Ticonderoga. And basically the cannons in the 1777 was the missiles that we use today. And General Bill was in charge of the largest deployment of U.S. Missiles in U.S. history during Desert Storm. General Bill, why don't you stand next to Mark? You want to be in the middle. Don't drop the coin. Congressman and the governor stand. Can the from the ancient, can you move down and we switch to another presentation? Okay, one of you guys. Okay. Okay, Chen. So stand there. So we have Chen, the president of CSA Boston, and the governor will present a special portrait designed by one of our Chinatown's very famous artists, Peter Ng, the father of Jennifer Ng. So Governor, why don't you show the general his portrait from CACA Boston. Can we ask also Ambassador Ray Flynn to join us? Ambassador, will you please join us? Ray actually has been a constant supporter since the CACA Boston Lodge was rechartered back on 12/13/14. Okay. And after this presentation, we have one last final presentation. And the second presentation to third presentation to General Bill is from the Chinese American Heritage Foundation, sponsor of the 2020 Rose Parade Float, American Heroes. And here to present that is the president of Chinese American Heritage Foundation, Esther Lee. Esther Lee, get in there. And I would ask to Sandra, General Bill's wife, to come up, because you're in the picture. Obviously, you know, General Bill is an incredible general because of the support he gets from his lovely wife, Sandra. So Sandra, please join your lovely, handsome husband, powerful husband.
Sandra?
Wilson.
Okay.
You get in there too. I have to tell Wilson to get in the picture himself. He's very much a big part of the community also. Okay, we're almost at the conclusion of our ceremony today. Right now, I would like to introduce Chen. She's the president of the Chinese American Citizens Alliance, the Boston Lodge. Chen. Yeah. Sit. She went to get her remarks. So while she's getting her remarks, I'm going to go ahead and play the Armed Forces melody. If you hear your service, you may stand up. Thank you to all veterans and service members now serving today. Now I would like to introduce Esther Lee back up to the podium.
So we would like to thank you for the sponsors. So right now, we would like to introduce Helen Yu. She is actually the daughter of Joseph Yu, U.S. Army Air Forces. And she contributed to this event, and we would like to have her on behalf of a family that will speak to us all.
Thank you for the rousing song. Wow, how do you beat that? I don't know if you can hear me. What a week. First Marathon Monday, and then the Red Sox winning the division series. Talk about grit and faith in the face of tremendous odds. And then, of course, we have today the culmination of decades of pride, honor, fortitude. A day to salute Chinese American veterans of World War II, and by extension, our forefathers who served in wars prior. A profound thank you to all World War II Chinese American veterans, but especially to the ones who are here with us today. Thank you, Major General Chen, for allowing me to speak today on behalf of not only my father, Joseph Yu, and his brothers Kenny and Alan, but also on behalf of my grandfather, Yu Yi, who served in World War I. My family and I, like many of you today, are inordinately proud to be part of this historic and honorable moment of national recognition and long-deserved attribution. When my dad had a day off from the laundry, where he worked alongside my Uncle Kenny and Lynn, he would sit at the kitchen table with his beloved brown radio. I'm sure many of you had a similar one. It was about the size of a small bread box with a leather handle, tan front, and gold knobs. He would tune into a Red Sox game and press his ear to the front of the radio. He'd pump his fist in the air with every hit or home run, shake his head back and forth with every strikeout. My dad, every baseball season, he would be filled with hope and optimism for the Red Sox. Hope and optimism. I imagine that's what he felt when he signed up to serve in the 14th Air Service Group, Flying Tigers. He and his two brothers, perhaps just like your father, your mother, or grandfather who served, they were driven by a fundamental belief that hope feeds sacrifice and optimism fuels commitment. The Chinese Americans who served in World War II served under unimaginable conditions. The backdrop of the Exclusion Act loomed, racism, discrimination, and yet they chose to serve their country. Today is a day to acknowledge the rich history of service, pride, and honor in which all Chinese Americans served. It is a moment, perhaps, to highlight a collective belief in country and service, a belief that transcends time and place. It continues to live on in the families present today and in the honor as represented by the Congressional Gold Medal. If my dad, uncles, and grandfather were here today, I imagine they would be sitting together in awe. They weren't seeking glory all those years ago. They were simply acting upon a firm belief in country, of service to a greater good, of freedom, democracy, and opportunity. They would be ever so grateful for and humbled by today's recognition. Thank you.
We'll have our past president, Rose Hom, to present it. Next, we'll have Southport Community Health Center, the Executive Director, Eugene Welsh. Eugene Welch has been very supportive to our Chinese community. Every event that we did, he will sponsor us, so we really appreciate him.
I'm really almost embarrassed to be up here. You know, South Cove Community Health Center it has been in Chinatown almost 50 years, and now we have 5 locations serving 35,000 Asians. And our board consists of 3 award winners today. Their fathers or mother served in the Army and through their service left these children behind them that believes in social justice for all, and for that I am extremely proud. Thank you, and thank you, Esther and Wilson, for a great day.
Presentation by our President Chen to Eugene Welsh. Next we have a Harvard Pilgrim Health Center and Mona Wong. We just want to do a presentation for you, don't worry. Can you please come up? Ken Cha, are you here? Ken Cha is our CACA Sentinel. We have the biggest sponsor is AARP. They have sponsored a lot of gold medals to all our chapters, and they also locally sponsor us, but their representative cannot come. But still, I'm here. I really want to thank AARP for all the support.
Now I would like to invite the president of the Chinese American Citizens Alliance Boston Lodge, Chen.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Chinese American Citizens Alliance Boston Lodge, I would like to first thank all our generous sponsors, particularly South Cove Community Health Center, AARP, Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare, the Yu family, and the East Boston Savings Bank. Wow, what a relentless journey for this award ceremonies planning team brought us here today. Thank you especially to Major General William S. Chen for your leadership. In a few moments, it will be time for us to part. So let's bestow our final koto to the Congressional Gold Medal honorees who are here today with us, and to those who are sadly not. And for the next of kin of our Congressional Gold Medal heroes, I know today's memories would live in your hearts for a lifetime. Thank you all for celebrating this day with us. Bye.
If everyone would please stand. I would like to invite Pastor Chen up for the benediction.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this ceremony where we could honor the contributions and sacrifices of Chinese American veterans in World War II. We're thankful for the cherished memories that we have of those who have passed away. And we ask your blessing upon the survivors, the families, the elected officials, and our special guests here. And so may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift his countenance on you and give you peace. God bless all of us, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Chen. Color Guard, retire the colors.
Forward, march.
Before we close, I want to thank the USS Constitution Color Guard, the New England Army Recruiting Battalion, and the 66th Air Base Group for participating in this historic event. Lastly, as Major General Chen will tell you, with all successful generals, he or she is supported by a great team. Everybody please sit, sorry. So at this time, I would like to take the opportunity to have all members of the committee to please stand. General Chen and these committee members worked tirelessly to make today a very special and unforgettable day. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the New England Chinese World War II Congressional Gold Medal ceremony. Thank you all for making the ceremony a huge success. All veterans and next of kin recipients, please remain in your seats for a group photo. I would also like to ask everyone to please remain silent. Thank you all.